Okay, so it's time to lay out the content of the full screen menu. So let's see what we have here. Basically, we've got two columns, and if I'm looking at the Figma file, I can actually see that we've got some layout grids here. So this was originally designed on 12 columns, and you can see that this one takes 3 columns, and the rest takes up 3, 6, 9 columns. So I actually don't have to build like a 12 column grid. I can actually just use the FR method because 3, and this is 3 times 3, so this can be 1 FR and the other column can be 3 FRs, and so we have the right side basically 3 times the size of this. It's going to have the same effect. So let's go ahead and start building this. So we've got the menu wrapper. We've hidden it by making it a height of 0%. Let's bring this back to 100%, takes up the whole screen, and let's bring in a grid, and let's call this menu grid. Sounds simple enough. And this can be 2 columns. We only need 1 row, and we can set from the settings panel here, the first one to be 1 FR and the second one to be 3 FR. So we've got the right setup. We can also use the padding here to have padding, the global padding on all sides. Actually, not all sides. From the top, we're going to need a lot of padding to basically start somewhere around here below the whole navigation. But on the right side and the left side, we can definitely use the global padding here. So this looks good. So I feel like this is a good start for the setup. So this grid basically needs 1 div to wrap all of the menu information, and the other div to wrap all of the links. So let's bring in 2 divs. 1 div, copy and paste 2 divs. So the first div, let's call it menu info, I guess we can call it. And the second one we can call, this is men info, so let's rename it menu. And the second one, let's call menu links. And so the menu info, what does the menu info has? First of all, it's got this rectangular that holds a logo. So this is basically like a div with some kind of a fixed width or just a little bit of a padding, background color, round corners, and a logo inside. Let's start with that. So let's bring in a div. Let's call this menu logo wrapper, I guess we can call it. And inside, let's bring in an image of the logo. So in this menu logo wrapper, we can, actually, let's give it a fixed size. So let's see what the size is here. It is basically 200 pixels height. So let's set this 200 pixels height. Let's set this to flex so that the logo is centered. And let's set the background color to lime. And let's give this maybe 16 round corners. That looks good. Can also maybe increase the logo manually just a tiny bit. Okay, so maybe even bigger, the logo. Okay, looks good. Below we've got this, this looks like H4, but I'm just going to use a text element for this. So after this, in menu, let's bring in a text block, and let's paste the text in here. We can also, because we have equal spacing in here and here, we can actually use the menu grid to space them out. If we turn it into a flex, that is organizing them vertically, now we can add a little bit of a gap between them. Let's set 16 pixels. No, actually more. Maybe 24 pixels. Nah, we'll see. Okay, so this is H4. Let's see, we don't have a class for this. So let's call this H4. Let's give this H4 class and set this to 32/110. All right, so 32 pixels, 110. That doesn't make sense. 110% most likely. Set this to bold. All right, this looks good. And then let's copy this. Let's bring in a paragraph and paste it here. Probably need to maybe this is a separate paragraph. Where is this? Aries. Welcome to Aris. So I'm just going to cut this and bring in another paragraph. And then they're spaced out equally because the flex is spacing them. And I'm going to paste this one here. And yep. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that because we have a lot of text here, and because this whole full screen menu is set to fixed, I can't actually scroll. You can't see, but I'm trying to scroll right now, and I can't scroll to see the full text here. So I just want to make sure that this menu wrapper, although it is fixed, it's going to allow me scrolling. And to do that, I'm going to go to overflow and make sure that if there is overflow, it's going to scroll. All right. So I'm going to set this to scroll, and now you can see I can scroll down, and I'll be able to see, well, right now we can't see, but in case the screen is too small, we'll always be able to scroll through this. Okay, menu links. It's time to bring in links, so let's bring in text link inside, and yeah, let's give this a class. Let's call this menu big link, and just make sure this is huge, right? This is like 200. So let's go here. Let's select the color as white. Let's make sure we don't have an underline here. Let's make sure the font is bold. Set this to 200. And let's copy this. And also make sure we've got maybe 200 for the line height. That sounds good. Now we can go ahead and copy this. How many links we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's copy 2, 3, 4. And we should probably change menu links to flex vertically. Just make sure they are centered. Okay, that looks good. Probably also on hover, want to make sure they are green or something cool like that. So now we've got, okay. So we've got the links. We can go ahead and paste the actual text in here. And are we done with the layout of the menu? Possibly. We are done. Yeah, it's scrollable. It takes up the whole screen. And we are good to go.